Once respected bank employees, now suspected bank robbers.
What was that like for you to be under that scrutiny?
I was brought in front of a grand jury where they were laying out a case as to why I should be indicted.
Matthew Yussman is about to be indicted for robbing the credit union where he worked, a crime he tells me he was forced to commit or his mother would be murdered.
What did you say to them when you came back out to the car?
I just begged, just please don't kill us.
Brooke Lyons says two masked men put a gun to her 3-year-old son's head and told her to pull off a heist where they were going to pull the trigger. She's still afraid to show her face.
People still pointing at you saying that's a girl who tried to rob the credit union.
Yeah, well, people look at you like you're crazy. Because it does sound crazy, I understand that. Because it just doesn't happen.
But it did happen. Over and over again. And all the bank employees still say they're all not thieves. They're victims.
What they put all 4 of our families through was terror. That was their whole method, was to get this money through terror.
Local authorities call in the FBI to help put the pieces together. Are they dealing with copycat inside jobs, or do they have something far more terrifying on their hands? A serial extortionist.
We don't see crime sprees like this very often.
Crime Watch Daily brought in retired FBI agent Bobby Chacon to review the case. Chacon says if there were masked men behind the rash of bizarre bank robberies, they were real pros.
They're not leaving any evidence behind.
No fingerprints, no DNA. The only people ever captured on surveillance video during the heists, the bankers.
They were very good at eluding law enforcement.
Crime reporter Jamie Satterfield says the robberies were all similar, but it was nearly impossible for cops to connect the dots.
You would have one kidnapping where they would say it was 2 white men. You'd have one where they'd go, it's an old man and a black man. And one where we had, it's a black man, an old guy, and a woman.
Authorities even bring in a sketch artist, but the images prove to be more baffling.
If you're not even sure if we're looking for a man or a woman, it makes it very difficult to find the criminal.
Finally, authorities uncover a bizarre pattern. A rash of stolen cars before each horrific heist, and then immediately after the robbery,
They would burn them.
investigators locate all of the torched stolen vehicles, except a dark burgundy SUV stolen days before Brooke Lyons was forced to hold up her credit union. Suddenly, it shows up, but it's not on fire. It's on the run. Could the real bad guys be inside?
I'm attempting to take over a vehicle.
An alert trooper in North Carolina notices the stolen plates and flips on his dash cam.
It's going to be a poor condition.
The trooper tries to stop the driver and his passenger, but the man behind the wheel takes off.
Really, boy?
The SUV smashes through traffic like a battering ram,
He's hitting vehicles. He's hit 2 vehicles.
setting off a chain reaction of metal carnage.
He's just hitting a 3rd vehicle.
But that hit takes out the SUV, and the 2 men inside bail.
Jump and run. Jump and run.
Very much Hollywood.
The men get away. It appears they left nothing inside.
2 white males that have crossed westbound. We chased them into the woods a little ways. They were carrying 2 black bags.
Because the chase is in a different state, local police view it as nothing more than a stolen car joyride.
There was no connection that anyone saw between these kidnappings and that.
The cloud of suspicion over the bank employees is growing darker by the day.
And the real bad guys are in the wind, and I'm like, I've got no chance.
Did you ever think they'd find these guys?
No.
Then a bizarre stroke of luck. The FBI agent investigating Brooke Lyons' case hears his son-in-law was rammed during a high-speed stolen car chase in North Carolina.
He had gotten hit, and there was all this drama.
When the agent hears it was a burgundy SUV and the two men who bailed were carrying black bags, the hairs on the back of his neck stand up.
The agent, on a hunch, called the agency that had confiscated that vehicle, the fleeing vehicle, and asked him if they still had it, and they did.
The agent heads to North Carolina to search the battered burgundy SUV, and there on the dashboard is a GPS. The roadmap to crack the case.
And lo and behold, it had the coordinates for at least one of these kidnappings.
The FBI agent also notices an unusual amount of trips to a cluster of rental cabins hidden in the Smoky Mountains.
They put that cabin under surveillance.
Officers stake it out for days, looking for anyone suspicious.
They still didn't have names. They didn't know what they looked like.
Finally, two men emerge from a cabin carrying black bags.
These two fellas come out and they get in this vehicle. The trooper fell in behind them.
An officer is on their tail, but he needs probable cause to pull them over, and he's about to get it.
He ran the plate and it was stolen. He turned on his blue lights.
It doesn't look like these guys have any intention of stopping. Then suddenly, up next, a man flies out of the moving SUV.
Get out! Get on the ground!
When the dust settles, stunned cops see a familiar face.
I know, you should.
His father's dying, his mother's losing their house. There's doctor bills up the wazoo.